Oh, wow. This look like the same place to me. Oh, wow. This look like the same place to me. Sheesh. Wow. Man. Heard is getting evicted. Guess not. Look, damn. Still building, huh? Wow. Still building. Wow, you think? You think? Oh, wow. Wow, look like the same place to me. Oh, wow. Look at this. It says IFC. I still like that. Yeah. Hey, Jimothy Jones, you still here? You still here. It look like the same place to me. It looked like the same place to me. What? It's not a light.
That ain't no light.
That's not a light. That's a firefly.
Yeah.
It's not a light. Like the same place to me. It's in your building. We're in a simulation. The simulation is AI. This AI. This AI. This is crazy. Your building.
Oh man, so that's Mayo's take on all the drama with Jim Jones. 50 Cent is out here doing his thing, and then some extra moves on top of that. All right, but let's focus on Mayo for a sec. I've been meaning to drop a video about this. Maino did some deep digging and claims a landlord has been straight up lying on Jim Jones while getting perks to work with 50 Cent. Now, I know the tension's real between 50 and Jim Jones. I'm definitely more of a 50 Cent fan than Jim, no cap. But lately, 50's been acting kinda wild, bro. And I gotta say, I'm way more of a man than just a fan. 50, you been wildin', bro. So here's me reacting to Maino breaking down the story, saying Jim's been wronged by this landlord. I'm giving my raw reaction, trying to pull the info together for y'all, and I'm doing it while showing love to Maino's platform because he's absolutely killing it on YouTube. It's deserved too, always saying he brings that solid perspective on the music game since he's been in it. Plus his takes are straight up well balanced and informative. Shout out to Maino for everything he's building in this lane. But now, let's see what he has to say about this Jim Jones landlord situation, because he's calling that dude a straight-up liar. What's the deal with that?
The other day, we seen this video of Jim kicking doors, being irate, running around, people saying, yo, he done cut the lights off. And listen, it looked bad. It still looks bad, right? Let's just keep it 100. The optics of the situation look horrible, but that's not all that's there, right? So look, Jim don't owe no rent. I done found out that Jim doesn't actually owe any rent. He's just been having a problem with the guy that's the landlord of the building for some time. They fell out really, really early or whatever, right? And they have their own issue. Now, the situation that's happening right now is the dude trying to break the lease. He's trying to break the lease. And why would he try to break the lease? Because he wants to figure out if he could do some sort of business with 50 Cent. Now,
the enemy of my enemy? That's basically a friend in 50's playbook, bro. Let's peep what Maino's saying about it, bro.
Jim has a 5-year lease. A 5-year lease, and he's not backed up on rent. And I know, like I said, the optics look crazy. But this dude, this landlord, nigga janky, yo. Like, I ain't gonna front, he janky. I done found out that he's janky. But look, he created that document himself. Remember the document that we saw the other day? He created the document himself, but I started doing some digging about what, landlords can and cannot do pertaining to evicting somebody in New York City. It says, yes, that they can create and serve a written eviction notice, such as a 14-day rent demand or a 30-day notice to quit, to initiate the eviction process. Now, there's also other stipulations that have to be had in order for you to get.
So he's able to put the document together by himself, but there are some strings attached, okay? Just the idea of him doing it solo, that's wild. But yeah, he can pull it off.
But you gotta be going to court. You gotta be in court in order to make these things happen. I myself, when I was a kid, we went through a rough patch. Marshall had the superintendent of the building open up the door. I was in the crib sick. I was a kid at the time. My mom was at work. My little sister was at school. I was in the crib sick and made me get out the crib. But a marshal and the superintendent had to be instructed in order to get us out of the building or get us out. Luckily, the rent was backed up a little. My mom's had paid it. It just hadn't gotten through. All right, cool. But listen to this. However, they cannot force a tenant out change locks, or cut utilities without a court-ordered warrant or eviction executed by law enforcement. So
That's an issue. If he skipped the proper steps, then yeah, that's a problem. Because apparently he was shutting off the lights, cutting utilities, and even locking doors. And that's a problem.
chasing around the landlord, chase the heat bill. Know what I mean? You kicking the doors and all of that. But the reason why Jim was even kicking those doors is this. Dude came in there. He came in there and changed some locks or put locks on things that he wasn't authorized to do. Again, right? Let's read again for proper context. However, they cannot force a tenant out, change locks, or cut utilities without a court-ordered warrant or eviction executed by law enforcement. So you need to have a marshal there and possibly the police, but you don't need the police if the marshal is there. They, in that situation is higher ranked than the police on what they can and cannot do. The police would probably be there to supervise the situation, right? But guess what? He made the document, put it up, and then he started changing locks, which he wasn't authorized to do. But there is something else to this. When that footage came out, right? Like when we seen that footage the other day, when Jim is kicking on the doors and shit, running around, getting mad at the lady who came out and asked the question, that same dude came to the building. When he came to the building, when a nigga came to the building, the authorities was there. And guess what? The authorities made him vacate the premises because he had broken the law. So yeah, it looks bad. Don't get it twisted. The shit looked crazy. Of course, we never seen, I can't say we never seen, I can't think of somebody offhand that we seen running through a building, kicking doors or trying to kick in doors to find out what's going on. But this dude is cutting off the lights. He's he's cutting off the lights, putting on locks on tops of doors that don't need to be locked. And all for what? Because him and Jim just...
All right, first off, I'm glad to hear Jimmy's holding it down money-wise, even if he kind of overextended himself. If I were totally off thinking that, the optics still looked rough and made me wonder how you even handle a situation like that. But damn, it really comes down to someone having major backup, which of course is 50 Cent.
Right? But the craziest part about it is, for him to have been there when the authorities was there, he wasn't apprehended, right? Like they didn't lock him up or nothing like that, but they told him that he had to leave even though he's the landlord because he's in breach, right? Now, back to the situation with 50 and how he's making this all look. I mean, let's keep it 100. 50 is great. He's great at making a bad situation worse. The way he poses or puts things. I mean, he's the more popular person in the situation, so we all understand why the Chinese nigga would try to be, doing business with him rather than do it with Jim, because he's probably thinking, oh, we could build the next movie studio, the next film studio up here if we could get him out. That still doesn't constitute him doing the shit that he's doing to try to remove Jim from the building. The thing is this, and we're gonna explore these conversations over the next this episode or the next episode. When does 50 stop? When does 50 stop? Because yeah, right? Like, enemies, crush your enemy totally. We know that he reads the 48 laws of power. He made the 50th law of power, Robert Greene and all of that shit. But when does it stop with necessarily the pettiness? I don't even think that it's about growing up or not. Because as we all can see, the nigga's a grown-ass man. He's a father. You know what I mean? He got things going on for himself. But when does he stop antagonizing Jim? Now, the thing for Jim is this. I feel like most people are not necessarily just picking, right? But we're looking at it from every lens that we could get the content or the information from. They're looking at it, oh, Jim is just irresponsible. He's young. He's doing a bunch of dumb shit. He ain't got his shit together. Cool. All right. With that being said, cool. But even with that, what does that have to do with 50 Cent? Has absolutely nothing to do with 50 Cent. I mean, one could think, like, if you were a true dick rider, right, like this landlord, you would go on to say, well, hey, it's to the end. It's up no matter what. Like, if I got a problem with you, my problem is to the end, like you in some sort of gang war and you not. But we're literally talking about legal situations versus what can be done versus what a person wants to do. I said it before, I'm going to say it again. Jim has a 5-year lease.
I ain't gonna lie, this really makes me see 50 in a different light, man. He's losing a lot of credibility in my eyes. Like, everything Maino was saying could be true. He's speaking word of mouth, straight up. Again, we ain't really seeing anything concrete, just Maino's word. If you respect Maino, you gon' roll with that. But if this is real and 50's moves are just wild, I get it. I get it when it comes to trying to win on social media for sure, because he didn't like what Jones said about him. Don't throw your credibility out the window just by tossing stuff against the wall hoping it sticks, just because you got a massive fan base. That's wild, bro.
Coach been the best as to how he's been doing his things? Nah, right? The nigga's rough around his edges, which that we ain't making no excuses for. He still got to get himself, pull himself together and do the things that he need to do so that he's not going through these same situations. But keep in mind, this landlord is out of pocket. Put some G shit. Imagine you're building out of space, right? You're building out of space and you putting money into it, time, whatever. You got people that's working for you, whatever. And because he would rather have another tenant in there than you, he's going above and beyond to try to make it seem as if the things is wrong. Now, one of the things that struck me out was the whole content conversation.
Trying to build it, but he won't sign the lease. He's like, I don't like these terms. I want like 6 months of build out and ridiculous bullshit. We also have a partnership agreement where half of what he's building now, his media, belongs to us. But he won't tell us how much he's making and doing all these things. So half of the content he's creating, if you want to buy that too, I'll sell you half the company. He's not a business. He's like insane. To me, it's worth very little to nothing. But if it works out for you, I just throw that in as a sweetener. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is he signed a lease with me. Right now he owes, I'm going to say it in a short way, at least $80,000, if not $180,000.
Okay, man. With all the context now, I gotta say, Jim Jones, bruh, you're really going through it. You should have been filming that next time, for real. Especially with 50 Cent out here teasing X, Y, and Z as ammo on you. You needed those cameras rolling. I know you probably thought the landlord would hand 50 the footage, but that's exactly why he did, just to be petty after losing that battle. But next time, no question, bruh, film every interaction. Keep the cameras rolling, have your crew around, capture everything. Because if you had proof that the dude got escorted out by the cops, that's a massive W. And I know you heard the audio of the landlord talking to 50 Cent, man. You gotta be sharp on your P's and Q's because this is the game, narrative control, bruh. Especially when you're dealing with someone petty like 50 Cent. You gotta think differently. But from what Maino's saying, this ain't on you. If he's 100% honest, take it with a grain of salt. But you know Maino's not the type to just lie. Still, if this is true, 50's out here wildin', acting some weird type of way. Even though it's beef, it's on another level, trying to play with you, bruh. So yeah, it ain't your fault, you're just caught in the back and forth. There's no fairness in this game, ain't nobody playing fair. So good luck, man. It's rough that you gotta go through this, but for real, good luck, Jim. Good luck, Jim.